November 2017. Carrie Underwood slipped outside her Nashville home and fell hard. The impact fractured her wrist and shattered her face. More than 40 stitches. Then came 8 months of silence. No photos, no interviews, no performances. Whispers began. Will she ever sing again? But to understand her comeback, you have to know the girl she was before the fall. The shy farm kid who never believed she deserved a stage at all. This is the story of a voice that refused to break, even when everything else did. Chakotah, Oklahoma, a place where dreams grow small because nobody expects to leave. Carrie Underwood was quiet, painfully shy, the kid who avoided attention, who looked down when someone complimented her. But when she sang, everything changed. Her voice was shockingly powerful, like it didn't belong to her tiny frame. People at church turned around in the middle of hymns. Pastors told her mother, "That girl has something God-given." Carrie didn't believe them. She wasn't confident. She wasn't bold. She was just Carrie, a small-town girl singing to empty fields, never imagining those fields were preparing her for arenas she couldn't picture yet. By the time she reached college, she had buried the idea of music completely. She studied mass communication, planning a small, steady life in Oklahoma. A desk job, stability, nothing extraordinary. Then one day, her mother walked in and said 5 words. "Try out for American Idol." Carrie froze. She hated flying, hated attention, hated being judged by strangers. But moms see dreams their children bury, so Carrie went. Everything that could go wrong did. The family car broke down. Carrie almost turned back at the airport. She had a panic attack on the flight. In the audition hallway, she prayed silently for strength. When she walked into the room, her hands were shaking so hard Paula Abdul noticed. Then she opened her mouth, and the air shifted. Simon Cowell leaned forward and said, "I think you could win this." Carrie didn't believe him. But sometimes, the world recognizes your destiny before you do. The pressure of American Idol almost crushed her. In the 3rd week, she blanked on lyrics during rehearsal and walked off stage convinced she had embarrassed herself nationwide. Simon looked her in the eye and said, "You need to wake up as a performer." Those words cut deep. That night, Carrie cried, not because she was weak, but because she feared he might be right. And here's what viewers never saw. She practiced walking in tiny circles backstage, just to teach herself how to move. She switched the microphone from hand to hand, trying to stop her nerves from freezing her posture. She whispered lyrics until she fell asleep, terrified of forgetting them again. One mistake on live television, she thought, and America would forget her name by morning. Every week, she grew, not into a diva, but into herself. She was becoming someone who believed she deserved the stage she'd been given. But the real test was still ahead, finale night. Carrie stood under the lights, shaking, as millions watched. She wasn't thinking about fame. She was thinking about her mother, about Chakotah, about the car ride that almost didn't happen. And when Ryan Seacrest said her name, Carrie Underwood, she collapsed into tears. Her life split in half, before and everything after. But winning was the easy part. Earning respect would be the fight of her life. To Nashville, Carrie Underwood was a TV product, not country enough, not industry grown, not what they expected. But she didn't argue. She worked. In writing rooms, she listened more than she talked. In the booth, she hit lines in a single take that others needed 5 tries for. Then her debut album dropped, Some Hearts, and it didn't just sell, it exploded. Before He Cheats, Don't Forget to Remember Me, Wasted, and then the song that crossed faith, family, and culture. A young mother on an icy road, her car spinning out of control, a whispered moment of surrender. Jesus, take the wheel. This wasn't just a song, it was a heartbeat. Truck drivers felt it, Single mothers felt it. Believers and skeptics felt it. Anyone who had ever whispered a prayer in the dark understood it. Carrie delivered it with a voice that felt touched by something bigger than talent. This wasn't success. This was connection. This was calling. This was purpose. But then, everything nearly ended. A normal night, a simple step outside her Nashville home, a life-altering fall. Her wrist fractured, her face injured so severely she needed more than 40 stitches. And the fear she carried quietly. What if I don't look the same? What if my voice changes? What if the world moves on without me? For someone whose identity had become her voice, the silence was suffocating. She disappeared for months. No interviews, no photos, no social media, nothing. Fans worried, tabloids speculated, the industry whispered. Then, 8 months later, Carrie walked onto a stage again. The room fell silent, and then she delivered one of the strongest vocals of her entire career. Her face healed, her voice soared, her spirit unbreakable. Performing at the Grand Ole Opry is a dream. Being invited to join it is royalty. When Randy Travis stepped forward with a smile and said her name, Carrie covered her face with both hands, shaking her head in disbelief as tears streamed down. Not polished camera tears, real ones. This wasn't fame. This was country music saying, "You belong with us." She had earned her seat at the table. As years passed, most artists faded. Carrie sharpened. Country anthems, arena power ballads, gospel moments. A Vegas residency that proved she wasn't just talented, she was durable. But her secret was balance. One night, 15,000 fans screamed her name. The next morning, she was home flipping pancakes for her kids, with their crayon drawings taped to her dressing room mirror. No chaos, no ego, just Carrie. Her voice built her career. Her character built her legacy. Her story isn't done. She keeps pushing. New albums, new performances, new chapters. But through it all, she remains the same Chakotah girl who once sang to empty fields, never knowing the world was already listening. From stage fright to superstardom. From devastating injury to triumphant return. From a quiet dream to a global legacy. The fall tried to break her, but her voice rose higher than ever. Some voices are discovered, some are forged. Carrie Underwood's was both. If this story moved you, like the video, comment your favorite Carrie moment, and subscribe for more stories like this one.